Welcome once again to the News of the Squared. And of course, my good friends Mike and Jeff. And here we are once again to give you news that you could use, or news that you can abuse, or news that you can muse to abuse the news. But yeah, we're here. How we doing, boys?
Awesome.
I'm confused.
You confused about the news?
Yeah. Or your views on the news. I'm not sure which.
There we go. So, what is on the news today, boys?
I guess we should imbue them with news.
We'll cudgel them with funny news.
Yeah, that's cudgel. Wait, what's a cudgel again? Do I have to look that up?
Cajole. You want to cajole them with news.
That's not the same word. That's not the same word. God. Okay. Mike, you want to start us off, or you want me to?
I will begin.
Okay.
Shout out to Scott, our new chief news correspondent for all the crazy, wacky news stories. This one out of township of Lomira, Wisconsin, out of WSAW.com. Authorities say a golfer was accidentally shot by another man attempting to shoot a woodchuck on his property.
Okay.
Now,
sounds like a Warner Brothers movie.
Yeah, some Caddyshack. According to the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, crews were called to the golf club at Camelot on State Highway 67 in the township of Lomira shortly after 11 a.m. The Sheriff's Office said, although the incident is still being investigated, the 50-year-old Lomira man was attempting to shoot a woodchuck on his own property. While trying to shoot the animal, the bullet ricocheted off some trees and hit the 80-year-old Fond du Lac man, who received non-life-threatening injuries.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, what the fuck do you want to sit there and shoot a woodchuck?
The man who was hit by the bullet was taken to St. Agnes Hospital in Fond du Lac. Authorities say the man is expected to be released. Neither the name of the man who was hit or the property owner were named in the sheriff's office. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt reminds all gun owners, when you are shooting a firearm, to always know your target as well as the area behind it.
There you go. Because remember, the trees are made of rubber.
Talk about your Caddyshack. I mean, that's like, it's like, is it really like Carl the Groundskeeper come to life?
Freeze, gopher!
Freeze, gopher! Go-phair.
Au
It's
revoir.
French.
As they say in French, au revoir, go-phair.
Yeah, au revoir, go-phair. Au revoir, go-phair.
Well, thank goodness he didn't get hurt seriously. We're glad that he's able to make a full recovery.
The truth is, here's the real question.
Just his pride.
Well, no, here's the real question. It's Wisconsin. What do we put the odds on the fact that the person who was shooting it was drunk?
No, this is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was around the 4th of July. The article's from the 6th.
Here's the thing. I normally I wouldn't say that, but they had that survey of the top 20 drunkest cities in America, and like only 2 of them were not Wisconsin. I mean,
kind of
look,
a show over there, don't it?
I mean, here's the real truth. Here's the real truth, okay? Here's why I don't begrudge them the Packers, and when the Packers win in some ways. As much as I hate the Packers. Here's the thing.
You do? I did not know this.
Here's the thing. If they don't have the Packers, what the hell are they going to do with themselves?
They have the Badgers.
Really?
And the Brewers.
And the woodchuck.
Right. Well, but okay. Now they have the Brewers. Now they sort of have the Badgers. But really, in reality, what they really do is go out, get drunk, and shoot things. Because that's what they do. Is that you got nothing better to do with Wisconsin than just to shoot things like woodchucks, and then shoots them.
Ricochet off the tree.
You don't hear about stuff like this.
Should not have used a projectile that's going to bounce like that. Should have just used like a 22.
Or use something bigger so it go through the tree.
Oh boy! All right. Well, hold on. What else we got?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What else we got?
What do you got?
You can apparently. This is from Fast Company. You can apparently. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Come on. Apparently, you can now smell like space with this NASA-inspired fragrance.
Who's space?
Space, as in the final frontier.
As in Space Force.
Yeah. Apparently, you can smell like outer space. I don't know how that works because there's nothing to smell in space.
In space, no one can smell you.
Can you smell anything in space anyway?
Right. So, according to this, you can still nab one of two remaining tickets to SpaceX. But if you don't have $55 million to spare, you can now experience the smell of space. It's not zero gravity, but virtually zero commitment. How exactly? With a new NASA-inspired fragrance, a new Kickstarter campaign bringing Ode to Space to the general public, just in case you want to spritz a little essence of the vastness of unknown behind your ears. You can purchase.
I totally endorse this product.
You can back the campaign by purchasing a bottle for $29, and they'll match your purchase with a donation to the local STEM program. The new fragrance is based on a scent NASA developed decades. NASA developed a scent decades ago. The space agency had. Why was NASA developing fragrances? What the hell? Did they want us? What is it? Like Waka Chicka Wow time in space?
Yeah, they wanted to make sure that they could be sociable to the alien encounters. Aliens there. You know what I mean?
That's right. We're America. If we can't shoot it, we'll fuck it.
There we go.
Yeah, well,
the little green women up there,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just make sure one of them's not a gopher.
They're naked, and they.
Yeah, here, watch this. I'm going to put on this.
Yeah. What if the aliens turn out to be woodchuck people? Then we're just going to shoot them.
Au revoir.
But then we'll just shoot into space and hope that it'll bounce off a planet and hit one of them.
Yeah. Okay, so the space agency contracted specialists to create the smell of space to acclimate astronauts as part of their training and eliminate any environmental surprises to liftoff. Ode to Space product manager Matt Richmond recently told CNN, astronauts described the smell as a mix of gunpowder, seared steak, raspberries, and rum.
What? That's weird.
Sounds like a month's worth of time in the space station. Man.
So space smells like rum?
It smells like the space station from this point of view.
It smells like. So what you're telling me is it smells like my apartment, like most men's apartments. The fragrance was developed by Stephen Pierce, founder of the Omega Ingredients, a company that develops natural ingredients for food, beverage, cosmetic, and toiletry industries. Ode to Space's packaging is minimal and modern. The design uses a lightweight, slightly rounded all-cap sans serif black over a gray illustration of a spacesuit on a white background. There's still a small N number at number 1, as in a la Chanel number 5, in the top left corner of the package of the bottle and label. This is Ode to Space's latest attempt to bottle the smell of the place and take this New York City I guess they need a New York City candle? Who the fuck would want a New York City candle?
Maybe Gwyneth Paltrow is up to her candle shenanigans again.
Although, you know what? New Yorkers would buy... You know what? In small towns, New Yorkers would buy this. If they were stuck in the middle of nowhere, they would buy that kind of thing. Anyway.
When you want to have an alien encounter and you want to go into the deep, dark spaces of space, I can give you... Space. And, of course, with one spritz, you'll be traveling to places where you've never gone before or ever will again. That's right. So spritz it down in your black hole and make it happen.
Oh, wow. Oh, that really
Or spritz some on your rocket.
Spritz on your rocket. And that way you'll be ready for blast off.
You'll be ready for warp speed, Mr. Sulu.
That's right. Traveling to hyperspace.
Yeah, actually, here, space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of to space.
Space, the only frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Intercourse. It's 5-year mission to find the black hole and plug it up before it explodes.
You know what? You just get Shatner to do their ads. Everything will work out. It'll be perfect.
They would sell it like crazy if you got Shatner to do it. Yeah.
Especially if you had
in
three women come up to him in the middle after he puts it on.
In his uniform. In his Star Trek uniform.
I think they made a Captain Kirk cologne.
Did they really?
Yeah.
God, that's horrible.
They also have a Zulu cologne too.
Sulu, not Zulu.
Zulu, that's what I said. Zulu.
I know it's hard to tell. You're eating.
What are we eating?
What's this called, honey? Again?
Gruel. I don't know.
What's this called, honey? That's a phenomenal food.
Last night, shrimp stir fry.
Shrimp stir fry, leftovers from last night.
All right.
Oh. The part that you don't know what you're eating scares me, Ivan.
What is this?
What is this? What am I eating? Where am I? How did I get here?
Who are you?
You can't tell what it is.
Gotta keep you on your
Tell
toes.
what
Guys.
it is.
I don't know what it is. Does it
But I
taste
like
good?
it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
All right. Next one here is from Scott from Q1043.
What?
Man in stolen car crashes into a woman driving a different stolen car.
Okay. Somebody's having a bad night.
Well, there's that.
Two drivers in
That's when you-
separate
that's when you
stolen
need open
vehicles
space.
were arrested following a crash in Newberg, Oregon over the weekend. On Sunday morning, officers in Oregon responded to a report of a suspect that had just stolen a person's Toyota Land Cruiser. The stolen vehicle was located minutes after it went through town, according to the police. The suspect attempted to elude police through downtown Newberg, then crashed into an occupied Buick Regal near East Franklin and College Street. The driver in the Toyota, identified as Randy Lee Cooper of Portland, was arrested for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. According to police, officers learned the Buick was reported stolen 3 weeks ago. The driver in the stolen Buick, identified as Kristen Nicole Bogue, B-E-G-U-E, was found to be under the influence and was arrested.
Au revoir, go-phairs.
Yeah. Killed two woodchucks with one crash.
Yeah.
Were they wearing Ode to Space?
Probably not.
Both of them were caught with Otis Space. Yep.
God.
What a coinky dink.
God.
Well,
That's bad luck. That's just...
That's good luck. The cops got two stolen cars.
in one shot.
Yeah. God. If you get to that, if that's what ends up happening to you, and that's how you get caught, you really
deserve
pretty
that.
much. You pretty much, it's like,
What are you
like,
in for,
you don't-
Arson? What are you in
You're
for?
not-
I stole a car, but I crashed into another stolen car.
Kind of reminds
shouldn't
me
you
of
get
a-
reward money at that point?
Yeah, I get like double points or something like that.
Yeah.
I got a story about a car crashing into another car. Did I ever tell you about the time I crashed into my own car?
Oh boy.
You owned two cars?
Let me tell you a story in the immortal words of Mike Edwin. Let me tell you a story.
Who's he? Sounds cool.
Who's I don't know.
He was the most awesome dude I know.
Nice.
Anyway, so here we go. I was borrowing Laura's Ford, her Mustang. Okay, I went to go pick up the
You
car.
crashed a Mustang?
Yeah, listen.
Let him finish.
So what happened?
Dumbass.
Well, here we go. So what happens? I'm going down the street. Okay, it rains, and then the temperature drops. Now I'm driving on a sheet of ice. Meanwhile, my other car, which was being repaired at the local repair shop on the corner of Belmont and Octavia, it just so happens that they had put my car out on the street. Well, guess who's coming around the corner trying to avoid crashing into my own car? But Mr. Ivan Rivera. I tried hard, but Mustangs are not known for being winter automobiles. In fact, they're good for fucking shit. They're good for shit. So guess what? I'm hitting the gas. I'm hitting the brake, and all I could do was watch as I'm going right into the side of my own car. Well, needless to say, the guy from the garage comes out and starts laughing because he's like, "What happened?" I says, "I don't know."
You were going too fast, right?
I was doing regular speed, but when I turned the wheel, the car didn't turn. It just kept going. Went right into my own car.
Uh-huh.
So what happens? I back up the Mustang and I pull it out. Well, the whole driver's side panel is gone. It's inside my other car. So I'm driving down the street, and here's Laura out on the front porch, and she looks and she sees the car and doesn't notice that the front driver panel is gone. So I park the car, and then I come out of the car, and I go ahead and I call her outside, and I said, "Laura, I had an accident." And she's like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" And so I pointed to the panel of the car. Well, it just so happens now my car that I went to get repaired now has to be repaired again.
Well, yeah.
My insurance did not cover it because they do not cover double indemnity. So Laura gets her car fixed. Me, not so much. And that is my story of me crashing into my own car.
A cautionary tale about driving a Ford Mustang.
Yes.
Yeah.
In an ice
In the
storm.
winter.
In the winter.
Yeah.
So-
Don't hit the brake. Just, yeah.
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta drive real slow. You gotta drive real slow in those sports cars, or otherwise it's like
no matter what I did, man. I mean, I turned that wheel, and that car just kept right on going, went right into the car. I was like, wow. So I know how silly it can be to sit there and to me get this conundrum.
Okay. All right. Next, we have next story.
Speaking of crazy, White Sox fans can be stupidly crazy by buying personalized cardboard cutouts for the home opener.
Why?
So the White Sox, because apparently they don't want empty stand, they'd like to find a way to have not empty stands at home for the home opener in a few weeks and for games. So they announced an initiative, and apparently this is going on in other cities too. I'm told that like the Brewers did this too. That they're allowing diehard White Sox fans to buy cardboard cutouts of their likeness, and they will sit in the seats during the first homestand from the July 24th to July 26th. Fans can submit photos based on the team's guidelines and purchase their personalized prop. How much do you think this is? How much do you think?
I don't know, $50.
60
Yep,
bucks.
that's exactly what it is. $50.
$50.
$49. Starting at 3 p.m. I'm under the impression, and this is while supplies last. The proceeds will go to White Sox charities. Apparently, they had these. A bunch of people bought them. White Sox charities is getting the money, and it provides. So it'll go to that.
That's good.
So do they send these to you so you can bring them to the game later, or what?
No. Well, apparently they're going to send them to you afterwards.
Yeah, they'll put them in the stands, and then you get them afterwards.
I was under the impression that they might keep them for other games down the road. It's only for 3 games? What if it rains?
Yeah, then the cardboard's no good.
And then they're going to bend over and look like shit.
We should have done this. We should have done this and had like the Ivan pop-up head like right like behind home plate with like a big thing that says like we love the squares or or whatever.
Yeah, wear like a T-shirt that says SOTRT or
something like
or
that.
News of the
should have
Square.
Ivan.
Yeah, man.
Eating a burrito or something like that.
I ate dinner during News of the Squared, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Yeah, there we go. There's your answer.
Perfect.
Need.
Well, the pants off with the mainstream and diaper idea.
By the way, so it is now the 1-year anniversary. Oh God, this feels like such a long time ago. It's been 1 year since we lost Chance the Snapper from the Humboldt Park Lagoon.
Well, he's alive and well in Florida.
Yeah, he's alive and well in Florida, and my understanding, he's huge. He's like 7 feet long.
That is one big fucking alligator.
Well, they know how to take care of gators down there in Florida.
Yeah, well, my understanding is, according to the gator thing, is that there's still a lot of people who ask about him like specifically, and like apparently people come down from Chicago and want to see Chance. So apparently that's a thing. That's on the Squares page. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but it was 1 year. It talked about how times have changed. A year ago in Chicago, it was alligator mania. They closed. And that was the reason they closed. Now they closed off the park for COVID. Last year they closed off the park for a freaking alligator. We should bring in a guy from Wisconsin. He could ding off he could be like, oh, go-phair and miss or something like that. I don't know.
No, don't shoot Chance the Snapper. It's gonna bounce and hit a golfer.
Yeah.
But maybe if you spray him with some of that all the space, he'll fill out.
Yeah, at least he's not gonna take a. Anyway, he's not gonna like crash a car into something else. Anyway, what else we got, Mike?
The next story, bride. We have another wedding gone awry.
Oh boy!
An embarrassing wedding day confession to the groom was caught on a hot microphone.
Oh shit!
So usually the officiant does most of the talking at a wedding, but that doesn't mean that the bride and groom aren't quietly speaking to one another at times. They might be expressing their excitement over their momentous occasion, or gossiping about what a crazy family member is wearing, or in the case of one bride, making a hilarious wedding day confession that, unbeknownst to her, was caught on a microphone where everyone heard. The video of the moment, there's obviously on YouTube. The article's on our Squares Roundtable Facebook page, but there's a quick YouTube clip. Video of the moment shows that the bride and her groom will undoubtedly remember what she said before her vows, far more than anything else she would utter during the ceremony. It happened during the song performance after the groom whispered to his new wife that she looked amazing. Her response was that she, quote, took a really big dump right before she came down the aisle. Holding back the laughter, the groom jokingly asked, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And he then let her know that he was wearing a microphone, adding, "Oops."
Oh boy, go-phair.
She asked him why he was wired, and he responded, "For moments like that."
Oh my.
And noted the videographer just heard everything she said.
Oh boy, go-phair.
Even responding to Jimmy Fallon's call for videos that could be hashtag wedding fail. The rest of the world heard what she said too.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Well, hopefully some ode to space will cover the smell of that dump.
The smell of that dump.
So, I'm going a little off book here. I actually caught this well, I shouldn't say live. I caught this when it aired on Sunday night. So I'm watching, and I want to bring this up because this is perfect for this show. So Steve, they had Celebrity Family Feud, and it was for the $20,000. And NFL legend and Hall of Famer Bruce Smith was out there to go and try to help win the $20,000. And so Steve Harvey asked him this first question, and the first question that he asked him, was if Captain Hook would use, what would Captain Hook use instead of his hook if he were a handyman?
Oh, shit.
And initially, now in fairness to Bruce Smith, he initially answered hammer. The problem was hammer had already been used by Michael Irvin previous to that, so he got buzzed. Smith's answer after that was penis. To which Steve Harvey's next comment was, after not realizing what he had heard, was after he realized it, said, "What the fuck did he say?" And they had to stop at that moment and couldn't do it.
So in that moment, I mean, you're in the lightning round, so would you have to you would have to redo the whole thing?
Well, no, they started from, I guess they figured out where
or they
the
did a quick,
were.
they did a pause.
Yeah, they must have done it that way. As you can take a wild guess, no one answered penis, by the way.
No, not as well.
No one answered that they would want the penis. They would want a penis hook for a penis for a hand instead of the hook for if they were a handyman.
I'm sure there's there's porn of it.
If you sprayed it with the ode to space, it would be perfect.
Yeah, and then drive your stolen car with it.
Yep.
There you go. You never smell it coming.
Oh yeah. Au revoir, go-phair. I thought you guys would enjoy that one, though. Yeah, I saw it when it happened. I swear. And Steve Harvey's like, what the fuck did he do? And Steve Harvey couldn't stop laughing. I mean, he couldn't stop laughing for like a half. I mean, everybody's dying. I mean, and Bruce Smith has look on his face like, well, I don't even know why he did it. Oh, boy. So apparently the answer is not penis. Anyway, Mike posted the story. Mike posted the story. This may or may not be from Scott. I don't know. I'm assuming it is. That U.S. postal trucks are literally exploding and no one seems why. Well, obviously, if they're getting blown up. I think it's the guy from Wisconsin with his gun.
Could be bullets ricocheting, yeah.
Apparently, it's not an isolated incident either. Post vans are an icon of American landscape, and these small, boxy little vans scurrying around neighborhoods delivering parcels and letters day in, day out. Most of us really don't think twice after depositing our letter or parcel. However, with post vans bursting into flames, yeah, that would be what I would notice. At an average of, one van in every 5 days for the last 6 years?
Wow.
Holy,
this has been happening for 6 years? Holy shit.
According to this.
I need to get my action figures delivered FedEx now, I think.
Holy crap. That's like that's like Russian roulette with a freaking postal truck.
Jesus.
One company has been looking into the rate of long life vehicles going up in flames. America stated the following: in 125 cases, the trucks were so thoroughly destroyed that investigators were unable to identify a probable fire cause. Of the remaining 282 fires where investigators could identify a likely cause, the only pattern was that there was no pattern.
Oh.
The fires occurred in hot and cold climates at the beginning and ends of shifts, in the battery compartments, dashboards, fuel pumps, and in the vehicles that had been maintained recently and were overdue for a checkup. They occurred on rural roads, city streets, all over America.
That can't be good.
Although one engineering report found an occasional lax maintenance practices may have resulted in an increase in the number of fires, most likely explanation for the fires is the trucks are simply too old and deteriorating for the road. Well, that one could be a problem. So perhaps in the case of old age. Yeah, because old age is why things just combustively explode. You don't see old people just combustively exploding around all over the place.
And the article shows like multiple YouTube videos of burning postal trucks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, that's why the stamps are going up every year.
So apparently these were produced between 1987 and 1994, and have an average lifespan of 24 years. Well, okay. Well, so basically, the long and the short of it is, those little things are death traps, and they were not phased out, and apparently people are not safe.
This is scary.
So, I'm thankful I don't live in a house anymore because it won't be near my house.
Used to have a lady friend that used to have one of those postal trucks. We used to go up and down Ravenswood Avenue doing donuts in parking lots.
Did you crash Laura's Mustang?
Yeah, that way. Is this what really happened? This was years
before that. I was a child.
I love how Mike and I both went to the same place. We're both like, so you were practicing for when you crashed Laura's car.
Okay, I'll give that one to you, man.
I walked himself right into that.
I sure did, man. I look like a
all right. All right, Mike. What else we got?
Well, we don't have we have the Florida Gator, I guess that makes up for the lack of a Florida man, but we do have an Indiana man.
Oh boy!
Indiana stories.
Hey, Julie, we got a story for you.
A 43-year-old Hoosier may have just accidentally inspired a country song. Just 25 minutes north of the famous southern Indiana town of Santa Claus, you'll find the small community of Huntingburg. This tiny town is now on our radar after a confused and naked man was arrested, according to the Tri-State homepage. A 43-year-old Michael Heiser was arrested after police responded to a report of a naked man passed out on a tractor in Huntington Monday morning.
Oh, boy!
The streaking suspect was able to avoid the police for a little while until he was seen running across US 231. That is where officers found the man in his birthday suit hiding in a wood line near some local apartments. Mr. Heiser was charged with public intoxication with a controlled substance and public nudity after he was discharged from the hospital. So, yeah, naked man passed out on a tractor.
Oh,
Did he hit a postal truck and make it explode?
Did he get hit with a bullet?
Did he scream, "Au revoir, go-phair"?
Did the truck hit a stolen car?
In oldest space.
Did the truck hit one of Ivan's old cars?
I don't know.
Did he take a big dump before the wedding?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
These are the questions we need to know about this naked man passed out on a tractor in Indiana.
So not really a news of much of a news of the squared as a news of Jeff likes food and he likes to eat it. There are reports that apparently from Thrillist that Popeyes is working on a new Popeye sandwich.
Ooh, it's the secret formula to the Krabby Patty.
They apparently in the Denver area, they are trying out the Popeyes chicken sandwich with barbecue sauce, cheddar, and bacon.
Oh shit!
Okay, what's a round trip flight to Denver?
I know, swear to God, it's very tempting, isn't it? It's like, man, that's like a no-brainer. That has to be done. Oh
my God, that sounds fucking amazing.
With the with the pickles too, of course. Oh man, no, that's a home run. I don't even think they need to test that. The only reason they would need to test it is just to make sure that it goes perfect.
Need to sell that.
That's sold.
They need to sell that now.
They're selling it. Well, they're selling it in Denver. They say they're selling it for about $6, and that's about right. That's about that's about perfect.
It was right about the same time last year as when the whole Popeye's chicken sandwich craze started.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now. Well, apparently they're testing this one in Denver right now.
Did they bank on that?
Man.
Did they bank on that?
And the only reason I brought up this whole thing about the chicken thing is because we have a story about KFC.
Okay.
This actually happened. Is this Melbourne, Australia? Yes, it is. And in Melbourne, Australia, a takeout order of KFC at 1:30 a.m. in the morning raised suspicions and led to a $26,000 coronavirus fine.
Whoa.
Ooh.
A pair of KFC customers in Melbourne ordered food for 20 people.
Oh.
Authorities immediately suspected they were flouting lockdown rules. So as a result, apparently 2 paramedics stopped by at an Australian KFC in the suburbs early Friday morning when they noticed something suspicious. A pair of customers had ordered roughly 20 takeout meals at 1:30 in the morning because they were drunk.
Okay then.
Did they have a tractor?
Were they passed out naked on a tractor?
Yeah, seriously.
Did the mail truck explode on the way?
I don't know, but I'm thinking they didn't yell Revoir, go-phair. Anyway, they grew suspicious as they talked to the KFC staff. They alerted the police and gave them the license plate of the customer's car. The officers followed the vehicle to address in a suburb there. At the house, they found 2 people asleep in the front room, but 16 more celebrating a birthday party who were hiding out back. The takeout chicken had been ordered to feed hungry guests. Apparently, so all the party goers were issued fines totaling almost $26,000 Australian, which comes out to 18,000 American dollars.
Wow.
That's a heck of a birthday party.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh, ow.
Crazy.
That is painful. And then people think about what we can and can't enforce. All right, and then finally, this story pairs perfectly with our space story from earlier about the ode to space and about Ivan made a comment about finding your hole. Well, Ivan, I found your hole for you. Because scientists have discovered the hungriest hole.
Okay.
The hungriest black hole in the universe gobbles up 1 sun per day.
Dang.
Num, 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 num,
How many suns do you think it could eat per day? If challenged to make more interesting, let's say the prize was $50,000 to whoever could eat the most suns. Now that you have incentive, what do you think? 1 sun or fewer? If your answer is fewer, well, I hate to tell you, you've already been beaten. In 2018, a team of scientists from Research School Astronomy Astrophysics at the Australian National University discovered the fastest growing supermassive black hole known as J2157, explaining how the massive hole actually is as well as much of how much it eats to sustain growth. And the answer might shock you. According to the press release, the black hole is 34 billion times the mass of our sun, and 8,000 times bigger than the black hole at the center of the Milky Way.
Shit.
It is a research member team explained Dr. Christopher Oken. Wait a minute. Isn't Dr. Oken the guy from... Isn't that the name of the doctor from Independence Day when all the freaking aliens come down? Isn't he Dr. Oken?
Wasn't that Brent Spiner's character? I don't know.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Isn't he Dr. Oken?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ogden, or anyway, as he explained it like this: if the Milky Way's black hole wanted to grow that fat, it would have to swallow 2/3 of a stars in our galaxy. So basically, we found our hungry hole. Here's the best part. Here's a quote. Here's a quote from Dr. Funyan Bayan. How much black holes can swallow depends on how much mass they already have. Or maybe they just need to use that cologne, Ode to Space.
Ode to Space.
Or maybe they're trying the new Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Au revoir, go-phair, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, so there's a giant... half the reason I pulled this article is because of the title. Scientists discover the hungriest hole.
In the known universe.
Oh, yeah, well.
It doesn't say how far away it is from our galaxy.
Apparently far enough, thank God.
Yes, thank goodness. We don't want that giant hole too big, too far.
The only other thing I can think of is...
Nobody wants to be frightened by the big hole.
Yeah, well, you know... Au revoir, go fair. You know what I mean? I don't know where my go fair went, but I'll fire just to be safe.
That
might ricochet,
black hole's going to take a massive dump before it gets married. That's all.
Black hole sun, don't you know?
Yeah.
Won't you come?
Yeah, that's...
The Soundgarden's still around. Is that band still?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, they're still around.
That's their one claim to fame, their one-hit wonder.
The only other thing I want to bring up is, I don't know if you guys caught any of the Kanye West... We talked about Kanye West on the regular show last week.
Yes.
Did any of you guys catch any of the Kanye West press conference stuff that he's talking about running for president?
No,
any of you guys? Oh my God!
But now Chance the Rapper is actually endorsing him.
Yeah, said he'll vote for Kanye over Biden.
Yeah.
Here's some of the basics. Because I really want to get to the best one. There's some of this stuff. If it wasn't possible he was serious, some of this would be hysterical. Some of it's not hysterical. Apparently, he did have COVID-19 in February, so glad he's doing better. He's never voted for his life and his wife. He's suspicious of the coronavirus vaccine, terming it the vaccines are the mark of the beast. He makes some comments about Planned Parenthood, and we're not going to get into that. Here's the part where it gets amusing. He envisions a White House organized model based on the secret country of Wakanda in Black Panther.
Yeah, you can have Chadwick Boseman as his running mate.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, he has the running mate. He someone named I don't know if it's a man or a woman here. Michelle Tildahl, an obscure preacher from Wyoming, and his party. This is the best one. His party is called the birthday party.
Wait a minute.
What?
Okay.
His party's called the birthday party. When they asked him why, quote, because when we win, it's everybody's birthday.
Oh boy.
God.
Why? Why?
Like I said, I just thought that was pretty. There was some pretty.
Kanye West will save us from the supermassive black hole J2157.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Probably. I hate to. Yeah. Well. No. Well, I just figure au revoir, and if not, au revoir, go fair.
It'll ricochet and hit the golfer instead of the black hole.
I'm just thinking as long as you put on the space...
Then black hole will explode.
And then I accidentally hit it with his own van.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the plan. We send the exploding postal vans into it.
Yes.
and we fill them full of the space cologne.
Yeah.
And that'll be the accelerant.
And then we can celebrate by ordering KFC at 1:30 in the morning and then get caught and then get fined.
Yeah.
But first, and then we have to set that off by we have them ricochet the shot off of the gopher, and then it hits the boom, and then we yell "Au revoir, go-phair," and then it goes bye-bye. And then we celebrate like it's our birthday because it's the birthday party.
The birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All hail Wakanda. Wakanda forever.
I'm shaking my head.
Where do they find the show? Where do they find this?
We're on Instagram and Twitter. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You know when you get new content. All these crazy, wacky news stories are on the Squares Roundtable Facebook page. Shout out to Scott. Download our show obviously on the Podbean and the Anchors and the Apples and the Spotifys and the Googles and all
in the
that.
hungry hole.
In the hungry supermassive black hole J2157. Email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com. Time to get into our exploding postal truck and get out of here.
Man, I want to go to Denver. I want that sandwich.
Yeah, let's go get that. Let's go get that Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.